Same-sex marriage in California is on hold again. Days before gay marriage was set to resume by order of a U.S. district judge, a federal appeals court blocked that order pending a hearing. I think this is the civil rights issue of our time, yet most Democratic politicians are running away from it. President Obama, who's the beneficiary of an earlier civil rights movement, is rather unbelievably against gay marriage in this civil rights movement. Once again, Democrats are scared to get in the game, stand up for their beliefs, fight for what's right, and lead. Joining me now is Keith Boykin, the editor-in-chief of the Daily Voice. Keith, do you even really believe that Barack Obama is against gay marriage?
I don't know if I want to get into that, but he is opposed to Prop 8, and I think that that's an important statement. The problem here is that this issue is no longer just a Republican or Democratic issue. This is an issue where the Republicans have tried to exploit gay marriage for the past few election cycles, particularly in 2004, but they've actually moved on now. In this election cycle, they're barely even talking about it. They're more interested in exploiting and scapegoating Muslims and Mexicans now than they are in talking about gays and lesbians.
Well, that is interesting. You know, they like to pick new targets every once in a while. Keep it fresh, right?
Exactly.
But I get the Republicans. I always have understood the Republicans. They've got a tried and true strategy. But how about the other side? I mean, the Democrats are supposed to step up and do the right thing here, right? Other than Gavin Newsom, is there a prominent Democrat who's leading the fight?
Well, Jerry Brown, the Attorney General, who's running for governor, is also opposed to Prop 8, and the state of California, both the Republican governor and the Democratic Attorney General are both opposed to this. That's why I think that these issues are actually now beginning to transcend Democratic versus Republican politics. The new poll that came out just last week showed that the majority of Americans for the first time now support same-sex marriage. That's remarkable progress. Yes, I'd like to see the Democrats be more forthright about this issue. I think they are afraid to deal with anything that has to do with LGBT issues. I think the president has been advised by some to stay away from these issues as well. But you know, the reality is the politicians won't be the ones to win the freedom for the LGBT community. It will be the people on the ground who are in the LGBT community leading that fight. And the politicians have to be persuaded and pushed to do the right thing by the people on the ground.
But Keith, isn't it kind of sad? Because, I mean, we know what's happening. We're going to win this fight. That, you know, the Republicans, I should say the conservatives, fought against civil rights earlier for African Americans, for women, etc. They lost. They're going to lose this too.
Exactly.
Right? But how come the Democratic politicians can't see what's clearly ahead? Are they so scared of the short-term political calculation when the country's already swung? I mean, come on. Why don't we get to it already? Why is President Obama still pretending to be against gay marriage?
I don't think it's just about President Obama. I think that the Republicans know that they were on the wrong side of history in 2004. The Democrats know that the tide has changed in this too. Look, I worked in the White House back in 1993 when the gays in the military issue first came up. And after that issue, nobody in the White House ever wanted to touch gay issues at all for the rest of the Clinton term. And I think even when the Employment Non-Discrimination Act came up, which President Clinton supported, people didn't even want the Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights to go and testify in favor of a bill that the president supported. This is like toxicity for a Democratic White House because they are afraid of standing up for their own issues. Yes, I think the Democrats need to be much more aggressive on this, but not just this, on every other issue, on the mosque issue that's going on right now in Ground Zero, on the immigration issue. I think the Democrats have to start standing up and start acting like Democrats again. If nobody defends and articulates the Democratic values, who will? The Republicans on Fox News are busy attacking those values. Somebody's got to stand up and say these are good values, and nobody's doing that education process, whether it's the White House or anybody else. We need to have more aggressive efforts on that, and the people on the left have to push for that. So I think it's a good job that you're doing that, Cenk, but I think it's got to be an aggressive effort by everybody involved.
Hear, hear. Preach it. Teach it. All right. I love to hear that. All right. Keith, thank you so much. I'm going to end it on a note where I 100% agree with you.
Okay.
All right.